I think that really needs to be done here is that one of the reasons why Spider-Man is probably the most beloved Marvel character of all time is because in a lot of ways, Spider-Man is the most relatable superhero.
See,
and so he needs to be relatable. He can't be, this charming and handsome, character like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. He needs to look nerdy. See, and he needs to go through a lot of these, the emotional feelings that, teenage kids go through.
See, I agree with you to a point. I also do disagree. And this hurts me to say this. And I mean, it really hurts because of what I stand for. I think if you look back at Captain America, at the beginning, Captain America pretty much explained how people felt too. He was this really skinny kid who, just didn't fit in, and he wanted to stand out. He wanted to fit in. He wanted to be somebody. And I think that kind of, goes the same thing as Spider-Man. It's ordinary people trying to prove that they are something more than they actually are.
But here's the thing, though. Captain America, Steve Rogers, he wanted that. Peter Parker did not want to be a Spider.
And see, there is a big difference between the two. But I think in a sort of sense, Peter Parker kind of really embraces the idea of Spider-Man. Yes, it was forced on him. Who wouldn't want to be, I think a web-swinging superhero? But at the same point, he embraced it because it gave him this confidence, this power, this ability to be somebody bigger and better than who he is.
And yet, it never really changed him. I know there's been, as I've noted several times in the past, I'm a big fan of Cracked, or whatever, but their, YouTube show After Hours. And one of the things they did is they went off and they picked on Spider-Man. And
who doesn't pick on Spider-Man?
And, about all of his flaws and everything. And at the end of the show, the one guy that was there to defend Spider-Man pointed out how all the symbiotes that have taken over, Peter Parker, how, Venom's, particularly the Venom and Anti-Venom symbiotes that now belong to Eddie Brock and Flash Thompson, respectively. Or in reverse, actually. And how they've went on to do, bigger and better things. And here's Peter, who's still, kind of the geeky guy, who's still, getting, downtrodden because of everything that he's went off and done. And he's never really succeeded in,
I still say don't knock the geeks. Without the geeks, the world would have no entertainment.
Well, absolutely. I'm really interested, because they're going to high school, it'd be really interesting to see, if they're going to go with, pull the trigger and actually have both Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane Watson at the same time. Well, it'd be kind of interesting because, at first, it's pretty obvious that neither of these two girls would be that interested in a geek, although eventually, Gwen Stacy, who's obviously, almost Peter's intellectual equal.
See, I think it comes down to the whole persona of, you save me. I like you now.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think a lot of people, are kind of bellyaching about that, how, these girls need to be saved. And I think, hello, we are in the 21st century.
I'm sorry, who wouldn't want to be saved? I'll be saved by Spider-Man any day, and I ain't gonna complain.
Except, a lot of people...
He just won't kiss me upside down.
I could live without that image.
I can't. I miss Spider-Man. I never fail to confuse him.
Yes. But I think it would be really interesting if we could actually see that whether it's Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane Watson, at some point in the new Spider-Man movie, actually in some way saves him. And so it's not, necessarily, and the damsel in distress as much as someone that's almost his equal.
It still technically would be a damsel in distress. Awkward silence. Awesome. So, there is.
No, I was waiting to hear how you're going to go on and justify this.
Spider-Man, even though he's a superhero, he's still scrawny, he's still geekish, he's still kind of very feminine. And I think that's what kind of sets Spider-Man aside from all the rest of the superheroes.
Excuse me, are you calling them feminine?
Just wait. You look at the Incredible Hulk, you look at Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, they're all very masculine people, and that's what sets them apart. Now, but they don't understand other people's ideas and views. Iron Man's very stuck up. Captain America, believes that he should be the only one in charge and blah, blah, blah. Thor is Thor.
Thor is a demigod, so he looks down on pretty much everybody.
But Spider-Man is the only one who openly looks at everybody as an equal. He doesn't see himself as better than anyone. He doesn't see any greatness. He just sees himself as who he is, helping people who need.
Well, it goes up back to, his, uncle's, motto, with great, power comes great responsibility. And so he feels that once he's given his power, despite how he may feel about it, after all, at first he wanted to actually cash in on it. But, eventually he decided that he needed to do this to go off and to protect people.
Well, yeah, but the whole reason why he stopped cashing in on it, as you said, was because of the consequences that happened by him cashing in on it.
Yeah, his Uncle Ben dies from, ends up getting murdered by, the thief that he could have easily have stopped.
Yeah. So, it's not an insult to say that Spider-Man is feminine. He does have a very feminine side, which is what sets him aside.
Okay, he's sensitive. That doesn't make him feminine.
He is extremely sensitive. He's extremely caring. He's extremely, I wouldn't say open, but it's not a bad thing to be feminine. There's a lot of people out there who are feminine, and they're decent enough people. And that's, once again, what separates Spider-Man from all these other ones. Spider-Man does things for others. The Avengers, for example, do things for themselves.
Well, I think they go off and they try to help.
They drop cities on people.
But, that's because Tony Stark is a stuck-up you-know-what.
But they're all almost the same. That's why Captain America and Iron Man clash so much. And Hulk just wants to smash everybody.
With good reason.
I still don't understand, to this day, why Hulk cannot pick up Thor's hammer.
It's because he's not worthy.
But Hulk can pick up Thor while Thor is holding the hammer. Therefore, Hulk is picking up the hammer.
Yeah, so you're going at this a little backwards, but okay. I'm not going to argue this.
But there are two things that concern me so far about the movie. One, we have not seen him in a Spider-Man costume.
I've seen pictures of what people think it's going to look
like.
Which
doesn't count.
Suggested.
Doesn't count. I like fan pictures as much as the next guy. But I want to see the real thing. I want to see him actually as Spider-Man. I have a hard time picturing him as Spider-Man without that costume. All the other ones we saw the costume, and it's like, okay, whoa, yeah, looks like Spider-Man. I want to see the costume. The second concern of mine is, I still don't believe that Marvel has as much say as people try to think.
Well, we'll see as it goes along. If it comes out that this movie, is going to be as good as we hope, then we know how much say Marvel had in it. If it goes the other way,
I was still hoping the fact that Marvel just said, no, we're not helping you. We're going to wait till you make a new movie, bomb, and then we get the rights back. I was really hoping for that situation. I don't like this deal with the devil kind of thing. Marvel's made too many deals with the devil. It's going to come back and bite them one of these days.
Well, it's not so much that they want. I feel like I'm being a dead horse. They want Spider-Man available so that they can use him in movies like...
But all they have to do is wait for him
Dude, you
to
keep
fail.
cutting me off. I mean, seriously. Now, here we are. We're on, I believe it's our 16th or 17th show.
16th episode.
16th episode.
Possibly 17th.
And you have done this on almost every single freaking episode.
That's because it gets heated.
Yes, but you know what? You're making it feel like your opinion is worth more than mine.
No, my opinion just louder and more obnoxious. Carry on with your thought, Mr.
You know what?
Mask.
You cut me off and I completely forgot where I was going.
Yes, blame me.
Yeah, I will blame you. Because you went off and completely confused me like you do all the freaking time.
He lies, I swear. No, he doesn't.
It's the truth, I tell you. The truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Thank you, Jack.
Nicholson.
Dickelson.
The
second best Joker. Actually, no, wait a minute.
Don't even go there. Third best.
At least third. After Mark Hamill and...
Heath Ledger.
And possibly even lower down than that.
Yes.
No.
No,
What the hell? What was the name of that guy who did, Batman in the 1960s cartoon, TV show?
I don't know. That was too far ago.
Okay, he's better than Jack Nicholson.
Okay, Jack Nicholson's better than Jack Nicholson.
That's... I want to say an oxymoron, but that may just be moronic.
I agree.
Okay, then.
It's ironic. Yep. So, I continue...
Moronic. I don't know.
Moronic.
Moronic, yeah.
That's too many iron.
Speaking of it, which... also, I'm kind of, there's been some suggestions for certain characters for the new Spider-Man, and I'm kind of getting the hunch that maybe the villain that they've been teasing for this movie might actually be the Vulture.
Okay, I just had a fanboy moment. He was poorly done in the cartoons.
Well, that's just it. They're going to try to do it. They've said they don't want to do a villain that's already been done. They've done the Green Goblin like 2.5 times if you count Harry Osborn's version as the new Goblin.
Which really didn't last.
They've done Dr. Octopus. They tried to do
Doc Ock.
They tried to do the Lizard.
And failed miserably.
And they failed even more miserably with the Rhino.
Which I have yet to see, so I'm kind of glad I haven't. But see...
and Sandman.
Sandman wasn't bad, though.
If they went with, what Sam Raimi wanted to do, it would have just been a movie with Sandman as the main villain, and throw in, Harry Osborn as New Goblin.
Yeah, I definitely think the emergence of... Oh my god. Crap.
I stumped you!
Oh shoot, what's his name again?
It finally happened to you for a change. Yes! Yes!
What's his name?
Yes!
What's his name? Not Spawn. Why am I thinking Spawn?
Because, I don't know. They're trying to, do
Venom!
Venom, thank you, Venom.
Okay.
Venom, was, done poorly in that movie, and it was the reason why that franchise went down the toilet, and they had to go off and bring in Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield to try to reboot it.
Reboot it.
I don't know. I could come up with a bunch of other really lame rhymes to that.
No, we've had enough. But the idea of Venom, I keep forgetting his name.
Venom
was a decent, well thought idea, just poorly executed.
It's because they wanted someone who is a fan of the classic Spider-Man villains to try to go off and take a villain who's created in the 1990s and try to put it in the movie. That was already, come on, if three's a crowd, then 4 is... I don't even want to use the word I want to use, because my wife and my son might listen to this.
And I've already swore once.
Yes, and, it's... I'll just go off and say a rhyme and say a cluster buck.
Cluster truck.
Cluster truck. A buster truck.
A buster truck.
A buster truck. Yeah, so we'll call it a buster truck. And, and I mean, that's